Dr. Ethan Cole, a well-respected archaeologist from Earth, was known across the galaxy for his relentless curiosity and unwavering dedication to uncovering the secrets of lost civilizations. Over the years, he had explored ruins on distant moons, deciphered texts left by vanished species, and braved harsh alien landscapes. But none of his previous discoveries had prepared him for what he would find on Theres 4. Theres 4 was a desolate, barren world, a planet of sweeping red sands and jagged rock formations under a perpetual, hazy twilight. Once, millennia ago, this world had been lush and full of life. Now, it was empty, abandoned, a wasteland of ruins and fragmented artifacts that hinted at an ancient, powerful civilization known in galactic legends as the Starlight People. Little was known about them, only whispered tales of beings who wielded extraordinary power and wisdom. Cole had been drawn to this planet by rumors of a hidden relic, an artifact left behind by the Starlight People before they vanished. The few texts he had found described it as a stone of life, though no one knew exactly what that meant. Was it a source of energy? A prison? A vessel? The answer eluded him. His research had led him to the heart of Theres Canyon, a winding stretch of rock formations that felt ominous and foreboding, even to an experienced traveler like Cole. After weeks of grueling excavation and near-endless scanning, Cole was exhausted, and hope was beginning to slip away. He had found only shards, broken tools, and fragments of ancient inscriptions. But on one unusually scorching afternoon, as he combed through a cluster of rocks near a dried-up riverbed, something caught his eye. There, half buried in the sand, was an oddly shaped stone formation. Unlike the other rocks in the area, this one was smooth, almost polished, and radiated a faint golden glow under the sun. It was oval-shaped, about 7 feet tall, and had intricate carvings that wound around its surface in delicate, swirling patterns. These patterns glowed faintly, as if they held some latent energy within them. Cole approached cautiously, his heart pounding with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. He brushed away the layers of dust and sand, revealing more of the strange stone surface. As he examined the carvings more closely, he realized they weren't just decorative patterns. They were symbols, ancient, alien runes, unlike any he had seen before. The symbols seemed to pulse with a rhythm, almost like a heartbeat. Mesmerized, he ran his hand over the stone, and to his shock, it was warm. A thrill surged through him. Stones didn't hold warmth, not on a planet as lifeless as Theres 4. This was something different, something alive. Fumbling with his equipment, Cole pulled out his portable resonance scanner, a device used to analyze the composition and energy readings of objects. As he activated it, the scanner emitted a soft hum, its display flickering as it struggled to process the unusual energy readings from the stone. Then it locked onto something unexpected. Life form detected, the scanner announced in its cold, mechanical voice. Cole's eyes widened. Life form? Here? His pulse quickened as he reran the scan, hoping it wasn't a malfunction. But the readings were consistent. Inside the stone, faint and almost imperceptible, there was a pulse of life. It was as if a being had been preserved within, suspended in a state of timeless slumber. The realization struck him like a bolt of lightning. This was the stone of life that legends had spoken of. But instead of being a simple artifact, it was a prison, a containment field designed to hold and protect a living being. Excitement turned to urgency. Whoever or whatever was inside had been trapped here for countless millennia. The Starlight People were known to have advanced technology, capable of preserving life beyond the bounds of time. But even their technology had limits. If this life form had been imprisoned for so long, its energy reserves might be running out. He had to act quickly. Cole's mind raced with questions. Who was this being? Why had they been entombed in stone? Were they a criminal, a protector, or perhaps even a ruler? The legends were murky, suggesting both wondrous achievements and tragic betrayals within the Starlight People's history. But there was no time for speculation. He began to set up his equipment for a delicate procedure. Freeing the creature would be dangerous. One wrong move could damage the containment field, or worse, harm the being inside. With shaking hands, he connected the resonance scanner to a laser drill, calibrating it to penetrate the stone's surface without disturbing its core. As the laser began to cut into the stone, sparks flew, and the air filled with the scent of scorched minerals. The stone trembled as if resisting, its surface rippling with pulses of energy. Cole adjusted the settings, guiding the laser with precision, cutting just deep enough to create a fracture. The stone cracked open, emitting a blinding light that illuminated the entire canyon. Cole shielded his eyes, stumbling back, awestruck by the surge of energy. As the light subsided, he saw the outline of a figure within the stone, faint at first but gradually becoming clearer. Slowly, the remaining shards of rock fell away, revealing the being within. She was tall, her form graceful and ethereal. Her skin was a deep, sapphire blue, glowing faintly as if lit from within. Her hair cascaded down her back like a river of silver, and her eyes, still closed, seemed almost too beautiful to belong to a creature from this world. As the last fragments of stone disintegrated, she began to stir, her fingers twitching as life returned to her. Cole held his breath, not daring to move or speak, captivated by the sight. He was witnessing a miracle, a legend brought to life. Slowly, she opened her eyes, revealing irises of amethyst that glowed with a quiet, ancient power. Her gaze was intense, both curious and cautious, as it settled on him. When she finally spoke, her voice was soft and melodic, though the language was unfamiliar. But even without understanding the words, he felt their meaning resonate in his heart. She was free, and she was grateful. And in that moment, as their eyes met, Cole felt a connection unlike anything he'd experienced before, a bond forged through time, across species, and through the endless mysteries of the cosmos. This was only the beginning. Dr. Ethan Cole stood mesmerized before the alien woman, a figure who seemed to embody the beauty and mystery of the cosmos itself. The soft glow radiating from her sapphire blue skin cast an ethereal light over the barren landscape of Theres 4, illuminating the darkened canyon and highlighting the jagged rock formations around them. Her silver hair shimmered as it flowed like a cascade of starlight, and her deep amethyst eyes, now open and alert, held a wisdom and depth that transcended time. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The silence stretched between them, filled with the electric tension of an encounter that both understood to be monumental. Cole's heart raced as he tried to process the reality of what stood before him. He had awakened a being from a civilization that had vanished eons ago, a creature whose very existence defied his understanding of time and mortality. Every tale he had ever heard about the Starlight people now felt hollow in comparison to the reality of this breathtaking, otherworldly presence before him. The alien woman blinked, seeming to adjust to the harsh environment of her surroundings. Her gaze swept over the canyon, taking in the unfamiliar landscape before finally settling back on Cole. She spoke softly, her voice carrying a melodic quality that was both enchanting and haunting. The words were in an alien tongue, a language as ancient as the stars themselves, each syllable imbued with a resonance that seemed to echo in the very air around them. Cole fumbled with his translator, a small device that analyzed and interpreted alien languages. He held it up, hoping it would catch and process her words. Slowly, the device began to translate her language, outputting a soft, synthesized voice. "Thank you, traveler," it translated, and though the voice was mechanical, her gratitude was unmistakable. "I am Lyra, last of the Starlight people. You have freed me from my imprisonment." The weight of her words hung in the air. The last of her kind? A chill ran down Cole's spine as he began to grasp the enormity of what she was saying. The Starlight people, a civilization that once spanned the galaxy with their advanced technology and wisdom, had indeed vanished, leaving Lyra as the sole survivor, entombed in stone, waiting for someone to free her. She continued, her voice carrying a note of sorrow that tugged at Cole's heart. "Long ago, my people thrived, our wisdom guided by the stars. But we faced a great darkness, a force unlike any we had known. In the end, we could not withstand it. I was a guardian, sworn to protect my people, but I was betrayed. Her gaze grew distant, as if lost in memories too painful to fully relive. Cole felt a pang of sympathy. He had heard whispers of the Starlight People's fall, legends of a cosmic foe that had swept across the galaxy, leaving worlds desolate and civilizations in ruins. But he had never expected to meet someone who had lived through it, someone who bore the scars of that unimaginable conflict. The translator sputtered slightly, catching up with her next words. My betrayer bound me in this stone, sealing me in a prison beyond time. I have waited in darkness, hoping that one day someone would come. And now, you have answered my silent call. Cole swallowed, trying to find his voice. I'm honored, Lyra. I never thought. He paused, struggling to articulate the awe and disbelief coursing through him. I never thought I'd find anyone like you. I came here looking for remnants of the Starlight People, but I never imagined I'd find, well, you. A faint smile curved on her lips, a gesture that seemed both foreign and deeply familiar, as if she was rediscovering an ancient instinct. Your world must be far from here, she observed, her tone curious. And yet, you came. Why? The question took Cole by surprise. Why had he come? In truth, he had always been driven by an insatiable thirst for knowledge, a need to uncover the mysteries of the universe. But in that moment, he realized it was more than that. He had always felt a sense of purpose, a calling to preserve the legacy of those who came before, even if they were long gone. And now, standing before Lyra, he felt that purpose solidify. I came because I believe that every civilization, every story, deserves to be remembered, he said quietly. Your people may be gone, but they left behind a legacy. I wanted to understand them, to honor their memory. Lyra's expression softened, and she reached out, placing her slender, luminous hand over his heart. Cole felt a surge of warmth spread through him, an energy that was unlike anything he had ever experienced. It was as if her very essence was merging with his, filling him with knowledge, memories, and emotions that spanned countless lifetimes. This is the gift of the Starlight, she said, her voice echoing in his mind as well as through the translator. A gift given to those who are worthy, to those who seek knowledge and carry hope. With this gift, you will see the universe as we did. You will understand the forces that shape it and feel the threads that bind all living beings together. As the energy flowed into him, Cole's mind expanded, his senses heightened. He saw flashes of Lyra's life, a world bathed in silvery light, towering crystalline structures that touched the sky, beings of every shape and form gathered in harmony. He saw their achievements, their art, their culture. But he also saw the darkness that had come for them, a shadow that consumed entire star systems, an enemy that was both intelligent and relentless. The memories faded, leaving him breathless and reeling. Lyra's hand remained on his chest, steady and warm, anchoring him as he processed the flood of information. The enemy that destroyed my people, it still lingers, she said, her voice now tinged with a quiet determination. It waits, gathering strength, searching for new worlds to consume. I had hoped my people would stop it, but I am all that remains. With the gift of the Starlight, you too can fight this darkness. Together, we can warn others, and perhaps we can unite enough strength to face it. Her words resonated deeply within Cole. The fate of the galaxy, the survival of countless worlds, rested on the shoulders of this last guardian and himself, a lone archaeologist from a distant planet. It was overwhelming, yet he felt a strange sense of peace, a clarity that seemed to emanate from Lyra's presence. I will help you, he said, his voice steady. Whatever it takes, I'll stand with you against this darkness. Lyra's amethyst eyes softened, and for a moment, Cole thought he saw a glimmer of hope, a spark that had perhaps been extinguished long ago. She released her hand, and as the connection faded, he felt the lingering traces of her energy within him, a light that would guide him in the battles to come. In the following days, Lyra began to train him, teaching him how to harness the gift of the Starlight. She showed him how to reach into the fabric of reality itself, to sense energy and manipulate it in ways he had never thought possible. Under her guidance, he learned to strengthen his mind, to communicate without words, to feel the subtle movements of the universe around him. The bond between them grew deeper as they shared stories of their worlds, their cultures, and their pasts. Cole found himself drawn to her resilience, her wisdom, and her quiet strength. And in Lyra, he sensed a growing connection, a friendship born from shared purpose and mutual respect. As they prepared to leave Theres for and journey across the stars, Cole knew that his life had been forever changed. He was no longer just an archaeologist. He was a guardian, a protector of a legacy that stretched across galaxies. With Lyra at his side, he was ready to face whatever lay ahead. Together, they would venture into the unknown, carrying the light of the Starlight people with them, united against the darkness that threatened to consume all. The sun was setting on the desolate landscape of Theres for as Dr. Ethan Cole and Lyra, the last of the Starlight people, prepared to leave. Their brief time together on this ancient, forgotten planet had changed Cole in ways he could hardly comprehend. He had come seeking relics of a lost civilization and instead had become entwined with one of its most extraordinary beings, a living remnant, a guardian burdened with the memory of a civilization that had vanished into legend. Now, he was bound to her by something greater than curiosity, a shared mission, and a bond that felt fated. Their departure was not hasty. Lyra needed time to attune herself to the technology of Cole's small ship, the Voyager, a craft designed for short-range expeditions and scientific research, not interstellar quests. Despite the limitations, Lyra's mastery of energy manipulation and her deep understanding of ancient technologies allowed her to enhance the ship's systems far beyond their intended capabilities. Watching her work was mesmerizing. Her hands moved with a grace and precision that reminded Cole of an artist painting a masterpiece, every gesture imbued with purpose and skill. As she calibrated the ship's energy core, her fingertips emitting faint, shimmering light, Cole felt the gift of the starlight stirring within him. His senses were sharper, his awareness expanded. He could feel the hum of the ship's energy field as though it were a living pulse. Under her guidance, he began to understand how to sense and control this new power within him. Through concentration and focus, he could manipulate small objects from a distance, sense changes in his surroundings, and feel the subtle ebb and flow of cosmic forces that he had previously been blind to. Every lesson brought him closer to a profound understanding of the universe and of himself. Their journey would not be easy. Lyra explained the nature of the darkness that had consumed her people, a force she called the Devourer. It was not merely a physical enemy, but a corruption, an insidious presence that spread like a sickness across the galaxy. It did not destroy civilizations by force alone. It sowed discord, twisted minds, and drained the life from planets until they were nothing but desolate husks. Lyra's people had stood against it for millennia, wielding their powers of light and knowledge, but even they had been overwhelmed in the end. The Devourer does not come with fleets or armies, she explained, her voice filled with an old, weary pain. It is a force of pure entropy. It seeps into the minds of those it touches, turning them against each other, corrupting everything good until there is nothing left but darkness. Cole listened, a chill settling in his bones as he absorbed her words. The task before them seemed insurmountable. How could two individuals, a lone human and a last survivor, stand against a force that had toppled entire civilizations? And yet, as he looked at Lyra, he felt a fierce determination rising within him. This was not just her fight, it was his now too. The gift of the starlight pulsed within him, a reminder of the strength and wisdom of her people that now lived on in him. They plotted their course across the stars, seeking allies who could help them in the struggle to come. Lyra knew of a few ancient sanctuaries, hidden away on distant worlds, where fragments of her people's knowledge and technology might still remain. These sanctuaries, she explained, were scattered across the galaxy, hidden from the Devourer's reach and accessible only to those who carried the gift. Their first destination was a remote planet known as Aloris, a world on the edge of the known galaxy. According to Lyra, Aloris held a repository of her people's knowledge, a place where the ancient Guardians had stored records, technologies, and perhaps a weapon powerful enough to confront the Devourer. But reaching Aloris would not be simple. The journey would take them through dangerous sectors of space, some occupied by hostile species and others haunted by remnants of the Devourer's corruption. As they traveled, Lyra continued to train Cole, guiding him through exercises that would help him control and expand the gift. They spent hours meditating together, their minds linked as Lyra taught him to feel the intricate web of energy that connected all living things. Through her teachings, Cole learned to open his senses to the vibrations of the cosmos, to understand the subtle language of the stars. She taught him how to bend light and energy to his will, to project his thoughts over great distances, and to shield his mind against the Devourer's influence. In these moments, Cole felt a growing bond with her that was deeper than friendship, deeper even than love. It was a connection of spirit, a merging of purpose and destiny. They shared memories, dreams, and hopes, communicating without words. He glimpsed flashes of her past, her home planet, a world of crystalline cities and luminous forests, the faces of her family and friends, long lost to time, the pride and honor of being a guardian of her people. And in return, he shared memories of Earth, of its beauty and fragility, of the people he had left behind, of the longing he felt for a home that now seemed so distant. Their connection was not without pain. There were moments when Lyra would withdraw, haunted by memories of betrayal and loss. Cole sensed a darkness within her, an old wound that had never healed. She had loved deeply once. He realized a fellow guardian, someone who had shared her dedication and ideals. But in the final days of her people, that love had turned to betrayal. Her beloved had fallen under the influence of the Devourer, corrupted from within. It was he who had entombed her in stone, sealing her fate as her people perished. The wound ran deep, and Cole knew that her strength was hard-won, forged through agony and resilience. One night, as they drifted through the vast expanse of space, Cole found himself alone with Lyra on the observation deck of the Voyager, staring out at the endless stars. The silence between them was heavy with unspoken thoughts. Finally, he spoke. "You don't have to carry this burden alone," he said softly. "Whatever lies ahead, I'm with you. We're in this together." Lyra looked at him, her amethyst eyes shimmering with unshed tears. For a moment, she seemed almost vulnerable, a glimpse of the pain and loneliness that had haunted her for centuries. She reached out and took his hand, her grip firm yet gentle. "Thank you, Ethan," she whispered. "You have given me something I thought I had lost, a reason to keep fighting. Together, perhaps we can accomplish what my people could not." In that moment, under the stars, they made a silent vow, a promise to each other, and to the memory of her people. They would fight the Devourer, no matter the cost. They would rally others, spread the gift of the starlight, and forge a coalition strong enough to face the darkness that threatened the galaxy. Their journey was just beginning, and the path ahead was fraught with peril. But they were no longer alone. They were united, not just by their mission, but by a bond that transcended time, a connection born of light and shared destiny. As the Voyager left the desolate remains of Theres far behind, Cole and Lyra set their course for Aloris, their spirits renewed, their purpose clear. They were no longer merely an archaeologist and an alien survivor. They were guardians of the galaxy, protectors of a legacy that had once been lost but now burned brightly within them. They were the last hope against the Devourer, and as they sailed through the stars, Cole knew that whatever lay ahead, they would face it together, bound by the ancient light of the Starlight people, and a destiny that had brought them from opposite ends of the universe to this shared fate. Their journey was no longer just a mission. It was a new destiny, a path that would take them into the heart of darkness, to fight for the survival of all worlds, and to rekindle the light that had once illuminated the galaxy. And together, they would face whatever lay beyond the stars, armed with the gift of the starlight and the unbreakable bond between them.